Sisters and brothers of the binary ocean. What's up? So first of all, I want to say if you, I'm sure you have different opinions on this stuff than I do, and the whole reason I post these videos is to hear that. I love being a part of the online developer community. So please feel free to share your opinions in the comments and yeah, discuss. As long as it's friendly and we're all cool here. We can have different opinions. So yeah. Give a comment. Let me know what you think. I want to give you a couple reasons why iOS is my favorite operating system. The biggest reason is that I'm a little bit OCD, and Apple has built iOS in such a way that basically every app is sandboxed, and essentially it's like the equivalent of every app. If you were to be on a traditional operating system like Windows or Linux or even macOS, think of it like if you were on one of those operating systems and every one of your programs was in a separate virtual machine, and then those programs can only communicate through very narrow kind of connections, almost like HTTP requests. Basically, that's what they are. Apple has a URL scheme. It's very elegant, and you basically send HTTP requests to communicate between apps. But it's very, I want to say encapsulated. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but the whole operating system is sandboxed. And what that means is, like, I remember back in the day on Windows, whenever I would use Windows, I would have to uninstall some app that I don't use anymore, and then I just always knew that there was still some fragment of that application on the system. I'd find it like a couple years later. I'd find some configuration file or something somewhere, or some folder, some empty folder left over from the application and things like that. And with iOS, you don't worry about that because everything is sandboxed together, and it just takes care of that stuff for you. It's very nice for OCD people like myself. No more having to you don't have to with Windows, and even with macOS I would do this reformat. You don't even have to do that with iOS really. The sandbox architecture is also huge for security, for obvious reasons. I'm not going to have my web browser download something that's going to be able to start deleting files or start deleting notes from my Notes app or something like that, because it's all sandboxed, and there's only very specific ways that something can get into my Notes app, and I have to give permission for those ways to be accessed. In addition to the sandboxed environment, I'm also a huge fan of Apple's shortcuts and gestures, the multitasking on iOS. It's all just, I almost want to say it's fun to use. Like a lot of Linux people, they'll get the like i3 or the I want to say tabbed, but that's not the right word. The window managers, where you can use hotkeys to shoot your windows all over the place and just make it, things look pretty cool. With iOS, it's got stuff similar to that, but it's all swipe gestures and different things like that. And once you get used to that, I find it's very intuitive and very user-friendly, and it just really can save you a lot of time and make life easier and make using the device more pleasant. Another thing about iOS is that it always comes with a very well-designed hardware component. You can't install iOS, at least easily, on an Android phone or anything like that. So you're going to get a good chunk of hardware with it. Apple hardware has just always been great. I have this is my laptop. This is the laptop that I use. It's a MacBook Pro from mid 2012 that I got refurbished in 2013, and I've had it since then. I brought it to the Apple Store once because the screen just stopped working, and it was like a faulty cable. They replaced it for free, and then I put a new hard drive in it just to make it a little, give myself a little bit more storage space. But other than that, that's it. The thing is, it's a beast. So Apple hardware comes with iOS, by default, and that's a huge bonus. Another great thing about iOS is that it's integrated into an officially, I can't remember the term that they use, but basically Apple is a certified UNIX operating system. That's what it is, certified, I believe. It's actual legit Unix, like what Linux is based on, but it's the legit, the original, the OG. And with iOS, there's so many great ways that you can just easily integrate into that. So if you have macOS, the whole ecosystem thing. You can pick up your iMessages. One of the cool features on the MacBook is if you have two-factor authentication set up with texting for a lot of stuff, like with text messages, I have my iMessages connected to my MacBook. So when I'm trying to log into, say, my banking website, and I get a text message with a code that I have to put in, that goes back through iMessages into my macOS. And when my cursor is in that two-factor authentication field, it pops up a little option for me to click on that text code. It's beautiful. It makes life so much easier with two-factor authentication. Another feature is just AirDrop. It's so simple, but it's you can transfer files between devices so easily. Another smaller thing I like about iOS is that the App Store is really the central repository for any kind of application you're going to get on the operating system. And what that does is it gives developers an easy way to get paid and an easy way to distribute their products, and it gives the users an easy way to support the developers, to pay the developers, and to find those products. One really cool feature that the App Store recently got was that it shows developers they have to report which data is being collected about the user. So, like they can choose to not collect any data, and then they can say, we don't collect any of your data. If they do, they have to tell you, name, is it identifiable data? Is it your address? Is it your usage data or what? So, and that's all reported right on each app's App Store page entry. One thing I do want to say is, to be honest, I'm not biased toward Apple. I'm biased toward good design. And if Apple stopped creating the best products, if another company created better products, honestly, I would drop Apple, because that doesn't matter. The company doesn't matter to me. It's just a company, but it's the good design. That's it. As it stands right now, iOS I think it's the best. Maybe when Google Fuchsia comes out, maybe that'll be a good rival. Maybe Windows is the new Windows. I can't remember what it's called, like Windows 1 or something, that there are rumors about for a few years now. I don't know. Maybe they'll be good competitors, or maybe they'll be better. I don't know. But as it stands right now, I think iOS is the best, and I enjoy it. And I'd love to hear what you think the best operating system is, and why it's your favorite. So thanks for watching, and peace out.